morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into your Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We love getting to be here to bring you great community information that's taking place over the course of the weekend for you to get out there and enjoy. Not only are we going to talk to you about some of the great things taking place over at the Park City Film, but we're also going to teach you how to make a delicious drink at home that's going to be your new favorite summer beverage. And not only can you do it as a mocktail, but you could do it as a fantastic cocktail as well. We're going to take a look at that local weather forecast, and don't forget, this is the kickoff weekend to Park City, and we're going to give you some more information on that in just a little bit, so stay tuned. If you're looking to support a great nonprofit here in the community, well then the Park City Film Series is one that you should definitely check out. And we've got Katie Wang joining me first thing this morning. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we love having you here, only because I love to get to hear what you guys are bringing in next, because you have a way of bringing in these films that cause such great conversations.
Thank you. Well, that's kind of what we love to do, bring our community together around film. And as we head into the summer season, we've got more fun things planned, kind of get the opportunity to mix things up a little bit, which is always fun, and keep people on their toes and engage them in different ways.
Which is so nice, and not a lot of people realize that you're a nonprofit. So as they're coming, they're enjoying the films, they're having these fantastic conversations, they're also supporting one of the great nonprofits here in our community.
Yes, absolutely. And we've been around about 30 years, which is hard to believe. This is our 29th season. So technically next year we can celebrate our big 30th anniversary. But it's fun. In our community, we have a good number of nonprofits in town. Everyone knows us for the Sundance Film Festival, of course. But Sundance is here in January. And then the rest of the year, they get to engage with Park City Film and see some of those great films that maybe they missed during the festival, or films that didn't get into the festival and came out later in the season. So it's kind of fun to just continue to engage people in the art of cinema throughout the year. And just kind of keep things interesting and exciting. After you get off the trails, it's a great way to spend your evening and get to know some locals here in our community.
Which is a great way to get out there and, like you said, meet the locals. Now, you guys have some great events coming up, not only in the few weeks ahead, but throughout the course of the summer. So let's touch base on what you've got on the calendar.
Yes, absolutely. So we have 2 more weekends of our regular season, and then we switch into summer mode. So this weekend we're showing a film, Challengers, which has been getting a lot of buzz. So hopefully folks have been hearing about it. And this is director Luca Guadagnino's newest film. If you're familiar with Call Me by Your Name with Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer, which is a fantastic film that came out a few years ago, this is his newest iteration. And he really likes to focus on kind of relationships and love and kind of that complexity. And so this film kind of takes it to the next level. It's very fun. It's a great watch. It's about tennis, love, friendship, and kind of putting everything on the line to win, which of course we hope resonates here with our community, with all of our Olympians or aspiring Olympians. Has great performances with Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, Mike Faist, and they kind of had this love triangle where they're all competitive tennis players, but Zendaya's character ends up getting injured and becoming the coach to her husband. And then, of course, there's a competition that ensues between the 2 men about who will be the best tennis player, and kind of, as that forms into their relationship. So kind of lots of things going on in the storyline. But again, it's kind of about sports, it's kind of about relationships, super fun, great way to head us into the summer season with something that is just, great acting, great filmmaking, great story.
Well, and then of course, like you said, that competitive component that is in this film is something that resonates so well with our community because even though not everyone is a full competitive skier or snowboarder, everyone likes a little friendly competition, and this is a great way to kind of maybe ignite that into the mountain biking, maybe inspire some people to play some tennis and get out there and hit the courts too.
Yes, absolutely. And just kind of that, it's always fun just to see people at their best, right? And like, what does that take? I mean, certainly there are, there's a downside to being a competitor at that level. But it's just kind of what is it that drives people forward? What do you sacrifice? What do you gain? It's just what I love about independent film, that it's not just entertaining, right? It's got all these different layers to it that are engaging and that you can talk about afterwards of, how realistic was it? And the director does a fun job with, he has put a camera on one of the tennis balls. So you'll have the ball's eye view of playing tennis, which has
Wow.
been kind of the talk of the critics circles of just how he really tries to get people to look at life in a different way. And he does an excellent job in Challengers.
Which then makes people excited to see the film and ignites that curiosity in them. And now I want to see Challengers just because I want to see the tennis ball perspective of a tennis match.
Right, exactly. So you have a chance to see it this weekend. We're showing it Friday and Saturday at 7, and then again Sunday at 6. And you can get your tickets online, of course, at parkcityfilm.org, or we open our box office an hour before the posted show time. So you can just roll on up if you have a change of plans or you meet some friends out and about in town or like, hey, let's go see a movie tonight. Come on over. We are the only movie theater in Park City at the moment. So we've got plenty of room to accommodate all of our film-loving community here.
Which is incredible. And then you have the best popcorn bar on the market.
Yes, absolutely. Best popcorn in town. We can definitively say that now. And if you bring your own bowl, you get $1 for popcorn, lighten your footprint on the environment, get to put some real butter on there, talk to your neighbors about what they've put on there. Is it cheese? Is it hot sauce? Maybe you want something a little different, nutritional yeast this time. But it's always fun to hear what people have to say. So that's kind of what we have going on this weekend. But next week, we are kicking off our Studio Ghibli Film Festival. And this is something I am so excited about. I have been planning this for years. We've been trying to get a Studio Ghibli Fest off the ground. And I'm a huge fan of Japanese anime. I have been since I was a child, and just Hayao Miyazaki is just the auteur. There is no one that is more talented. I mean, he's like the best of the best. And, there's a lot of resurgence to think of anime now on Netflix and all these different streaming channels. My kids watching it all the time. But this, when you see a Miyazaki film, I mean, the depth of the animation, the depth of the storytelling. There's, again, so many layers to it that my 12-year-old can enjoy it, my 17-year-old can enjoy it, I can enjoy it. I mean, film lovers of all ages can really get into his films and appreciate the stories, be entertained, but also kind of, pushed in different ways and, really kind of provoke some interesting thoughts about life and the meaning of life and how people relate to each other and, all of these different things going on. And so he's just, as I said, I'm a huge fan, as you can tell, super, super fan. But we have Princess Mononoke kicking off on June 6th, and that'll be the start of our Studio Ghibli Film Festival. And this is a film that perhaps not many folks are familiar with from his genre. He has many, many films he's put out, and we'll show 7 this summer. But this is about a conflict between the people of Irontown and the mysterious Princess Mononoke, who's a young girl who was raised by wolves who will do anything to protect the forests and the forest animals and spirits that live within it. So kind of an interesting parallel to environmental conservation here in our communities, but just looking at that kind of intertwining complexity of, what makes a hero, what makes a villain. And there are no easy answers, of course. And again, Miyazaki is just the master storyteller. So that'll be a fun way to kick off the Studio Ghibli Film Festival on Thursday, the 6th, June 6th. And we'll have Professor Lian Shen from the University of Utah, and she's in the Film and Media Arts Department, and she will talk about the film and kind of its place within Miyazaki's genre and just kind of how he has impacted the world of film and animation and anime, and be a really great series that I'm excited to have folks come out and see.
What a great thing that you're bringing to the community, and congratulations. After many years of putting in the effort to get this here, you've finally done it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and he just won the Academy Award for his second film, for The Boy and the Heron, which came out earlier this year, which is meant to be Miyazaki's last film. He's in his 80s, so potentially it will be. But it's just kind of a nice bookend. So we will end the series with his last 2 films, which are The Wind Rises and The Boy and the Heron, and just kind of just show kind of the highlights of his career. We'll have, again, 7 films. We couldn't show everything, so we thought, okay, what are the iconic films? Maybe ones that people haven't seen. We won't be showing My Neighbor Totoro, sorry. I know that's one that folks really love from Miyazaki, but we feel like that's been seen a lot. So we'll have Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, of course, next weekend. Kiki's Delivery Service, which is kind of a fun, lighter film theme for him. But just, again, kind of looking at just different stages of his career and his storytelling and how his films really reflect what's going on in the world around him at that time. So we'll have a couple of speakers throughout the summer. Professor Susan Napier from Tufts University, who's kind of an expert in Miyazaki, a nationally known expert. We'll talk about his work in comparison to Disney and just how different anime is from animation in the United States. And just, it'll be a really fun conversation I think we'll have throughout the summer.
What a great way to experience it if someone has never dabbled in the realm of anime. This is a great starting point because then you do have all of these expert perspectives. I love listening to you talk about it because the passion that you have behind this, it just radiates off of you, which then inspires people to get involved with it in a way that maybe will ignite this passion within them.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's the hope. And it's just, I think in this country, animation is kind of, designated to the realm of children, which is fine. And there are a lot of great animated films that are for children, but anime is just kind of, it's a different level of storytelling. Sure, it's animated, but what it does with that medium is it allows your imagination to just, there are no bounds, right? I mean, different than CGI, where you can kind of create these fantastical worlds. With anime, there's just, your mind kind of lets go in a different way and is accepting. That suspension of disbelief is just at a different level than when you have in live action films. And again, Miyazaki just really takes it to the next level in terms of, issues he's addressing and themes throughout his stories, and just these amazing kind of recurring characters that you'll see if you're familiar with his work. And that's what's kind of fun about having it be a series, because you can see some kind of characters and themes come throughout. He is in love with aviation, for example, but he presents it in a different way each time. So again, just exciting to be able to have these conversations and to be able to bring it together as a collective for the first time here in Park City.
Now this is incredible. So this is going to take place throughout the course of the entire summer. So people can, if they maybe can't attend the first one, they'll be able to step in and put together all of the fun pieces that you are laying out in this puzzle later throughout the summer.
Yes, absolutely. They're all standalone film screenings. So you can absolutely just see one. You can see all 7, of course, which we would love. But we'll have 3 film screenings in June, 2 in July, and 2 in August. And we intentionally spread them out throughout the summer as opposed to having kind of a weekend, kind of crammed fill of anime, so that folks would be able to, take the opportunity. If they're traveling one week, they'll be back maybe the next month and they can see a different film. And they're all, standalone pieces. If you can see more than one, then you can see kind of the interconnections between them. And certainly the speakers will be spaced out throughout the summer as well, so that folks, again, will have the opportunity to hopefully catch at least one of them as they come see the films. But we're hoping if you go to parkcityfilm.org, you can check out all the films we have coming up in the series, get your tickets, just our regular ticket pricing, of course, great popcorn, and on different nights of the week as well. So some are Thursdays, some are Tuesdays, but just, again, kind of mixing it up so that folks can have the greatest opportunity to be able to engage with this series this summer.
And if people are interested in looking at the full calendar lineup, that way they can plan according, where can they find the schedule for this?
Everything's at parkcityfilm.org. You can also go to our Facebook page or Instagram, and we have them all listed there with links to the films, trailers. Some of these, as I said, are familiar Miyazaki films, like Kiki's Delivery Service. I think most people are familiar with, but other ones you may not have seen before. And so it's kind of an opportunity to, like, a Nausicaa of the Valley of the Winds is his first film that came to the United States, and is just one that is amazing and potentially one of his best films, but again, not very well known. So it's fun to kind of show people films that maybe they haven't heard of, or maybe have heard a little bit about, but haven't had the opportunity to see them. They will all be screened in Japanese with English subtitles, and of course on an amazing big screen here in our theater. So, you're fully immersed in the storytelling. Absolutely not an experience you could recreate anywhere else but in a theater.
Katie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and your enthusiasm has just piqued my enthusiasm for today. So I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much, and hope to see you at the movie soon.
Yes, so make sure that you go to parkcityfilm.org. That way you can see the entire lineup of this incredible film series that they are bringing to us. That way we can all experience the world of anime just a little bit more. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned. We love getting to inspire you to create some delicious recipes at home, while Kim is going to step into the kitchen and give us a look at how we can make a delicious pineapple ginger juice at home, because it's going to be your new summer beverage. Let's take a look.
Now, I'm often in the kitchen and I always talk about the things that I love to do and things that I keep at home, but my kitchen best friend is my juicer. I love to juice all kinds of things, and I'm going to show you today how to make what I like to dub the pineapple zinger, a delicious, crisp, and refreshing juice, especially as we head into the summer months. This is great just to have in the morning. It's also great to mix with a cocktail if you're interested in fun things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You can start with pineapple, fresh pineapple, and use your juicer if you have a juicer, or you can get a can or just a bottle of pineapple juice itself. It also involves coconut water. It's great for electrolytes and hydration. Then we've got a fresh lime, because who doesn't love a little lime juice? It reminds you of summer, vacation, whatever it is. And then fresh ginger. You can buy ginger juice. I would suggest, if you have a juicer, getting your own. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Always fun to have a little carafe, so you can just pop it in your fridge, and this would make makes just a really fun and delicious juice to start your day with, or if it's the weekend like we're heading into, you can mix it with a little bit of drinks. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to actually go ahead and start with my ginger. We need probably about a half a teaspoon of ginger juice. So I always like, when I take my ginger, I always trim off the sides. You can literally just break it, just like I did, and throw, you don't have to use all of it. You don't have to worry about it. You can throw the rest of it in your fridge, and ginger usually lasts a pretty long time. I put it in all kinds of juices. Usually I start my day off with celery juice. It's got some lemon and some ginger in it, but I like to throw it in basically almost anything that I cook with. I actually throw ginger into some soups as well. It gives it a nice hearty depth to your flavor there. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of trim off the brown area of the ginger. You can actually take a spoon and scrape it too, but that takes a little bit longer. So we're going to start with a knife here. So I'm just going to keep trimming it. You can smell the zing of the ginger. I love fresh ginger, maybe because I'm a redhead. I don't know what it is, but me and ginger, we get along really well. So we're going to go ahead and continue cutting the ginger here. You don't have to make it perfect, but I like to kind of just cut off any of the dead ends. As you can see, when you buy it in the grocery store, they kind of just break it off from the root. So I always make sure that all of these pieces are cut off, any knobs that are hard to get around. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw it into my handy dandy juicer. So it's going to be a little bit loud in here, but we love kitchen noises, don't we? So throwing that ginger into the juicer here, and you just kind of gently press down on it if you have a juicer, just like that. And we need about a half a teaspoon for this drink. Again, you can make as little or as much as you want to. You can see it kind of spinning there. So I've got just about a half a teaspoon. I might actually trim a little bit more, because you never know. I always like to put as much ginger in mine. I know it burns some people's throats, so we won't put too much in this drink, but it's always better to have more than not enough, in my opinion. You don't always have to use it either. Sometimes I'll actually throw it in the fridge if I make it separately from my juice, just to have it on hand. I like to do ginger cayenne shots sometimes in the morning. It aids with digestion. It's pretty great. So I'm just trimming it all up here. We'll put a little bit more in here just to make sure we have enough for this drink. So you need about a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, depending on what you need to do there. I love this juicer. It's my favorite kitchen appliance, I'd say. Great. There we go. Okay, so we've got all of our ginger right here. We're going to go ahead and let that finish dripping, and then I'm going to show you our next one. We're actually going to need some lime juice as well. So we can either juice the lime in my juicer, which I think I'm going to do, or if you had like a hand squeezer, you can do that, or you can use one of the traditional twisty guys. I know Kevin loved that a long time ago. Kevin and I were in the kitchen together, and we made key lime pie. He had to juice key limes with his hands, and he yelled at me for weeks afterwards. I like to actually just kind of trim up my lime right here, and we'll just, you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and squeeze it. And now here's a fun trick. If you don't have either one of those juices, you can always take a fork. Actually, we do have in this kitchen a juicer, so we're gonna go ahead and use it. All right, actually, we're not. I'm gonna show you my trick. You take your fork here, you just stick it in the middle, and you can just squeeze it just like that, and it kind of helps you not lose the lime. You can get everything out of it that you need to, just like that. We're squeezing it. This is a great little trick if you're in a restaurant and you're trying to maintain table manners and you don't want to squirt anybody with lemon or lime juice in their faces when they're sitting across from you. Just stick your fork in it, cover your hand, and do a quick little squeeze, just like that. Fun fact, we're learning a little bit of etiquette here, and we're cooking all at the same time. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this right here, just like this. Great, awesome. So yes, I love a good refreshing juice, especially when it reminds me of vacation, which anything with pineapple, lime definitely reminds me of vacation, which summertime is upon us, so you know what that means. Lots of vacations happening here in the mountains and beyond. I can't wait to try this refreshing juice. As you can see, squeezing it in there. Awesome, great. So we're gonna go ahead and measure out our ginger because we don't want too much in this. I mean, I'm fine with it, but if I'm serving it to guests, some people don't have fresh ginger in their diet on a regular basis. So we're gonna take about a half a teaspoon, just like that. I love this teaspoon thing because it's different colors, so it makes it easy. You're not mixing it up. I love my juicer as well because you can just twist this up and it doesn't leak all over the counter, which is great. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pour about, whoops. Well, sorry guys, poured a little bit more in there than I anticipated. So it looks great to me. I'm gonna go ahead and actually juice our pineapple. So any excess ginger that we've got, I'm just gonna pour it right now into this container. And we're gonna juice the pineapple. So we need about a half a cup of coconut water and 3/4 of a cup of pineapple as well. So getting that back in there. Now again, if we don't have enough of this pineapple, we'll just use regular pineapple juice. You can kind of supplement it, but I say fresh is always better. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. I'm gonna throw pineapple into my juicer here, just like this. Great. All right, buckle up guys, because we have more kitchen noises coming at us. Oh my gosh, I can smell the pineapple. I'm already on a beach in my mind. Just juicing it up. So we'll just let that spin a little bit more just so it finishes up. All right, we've got a little bit of extra here, so we're gonna do about 3/4 of a cup. I've got some extra juice in from the container here. Now you can take a whole pineapple if you need to. You can cut it up that way. You can buy it already pre-cut in the store. And then we'll just pour a little bit more into this. As you can see, look at that beautiful color and all of that foam from the juice. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm on a beach, maybe having a pina colada, I don't know. That's basically what this is. All right, look at that skill, man. I didn't spill it anywhere. All right, and then the last little piece of this drink that we need, we're adding about a half a cup of coconut water. Now my hands are a little bit sticky from all that pineapple juice, but I'll just twist it right here. All right, I'm making a royal mess, but that's okay because as I like to say, if you're not making a mess in the kitchen, you're not doing it right. So we're doing about a half a cup of the pineapple juice. Of the coconut water. I'll just add a little bit more in there, why not? Now this is enough portion for probably like one drink, maybe two people. We'll just do a quick little stir, or you can just kind of shake it around, mix it up. Oh my gosh, I can smell the zing of the ginger. Smells so good. The sweetness of the pineapple. The coconut water is great for electrolytes. It also keeps you a little bit hydrated. Now, if there's a little bit too much ginger, you can always add a little more coconut water to kind of thin it out. And then depending on how much sweetness that you actually like, a little bit more of that pineapple juice. No juice left behind is what I like to say. I'm gonna grab a cup and I'm gonna try this out. We'll see how it tastes. And then I'll get to share the rest with my team here at TV8. Happy summer. I'm ready for a vacation. Cannot wait to get the weekend started. Anyways, we'll be back with more on the show right after this break.
so much for tuning into your Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. Now, it is the kickoff weekend to Park Silly. This takes place on Sunday on Main Street. You can go, you can enjoy all of the great vendors, the great food, and the live entertainment. So make sure that you mark your calendars to make your way to Main Street this Sunday. I've been your host, Maddie Evans, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.